Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I am Brian, and today I'm going to start to be going over a few of the items that I have collected to begin my new truck camping setup. So if you don't follow my main channel, I took my camper shell off and I am in the process of building a brand new setup. And I've got quite a few things to go over that I'm going to put on the actual new camping rig. And while I wait for my items to come in, I'm still waiting on a few, I'm just gonna show you folks some of the things that I'm gonna be putting on that new setup. And this is definitely not necessary for camping, but I like to listen to music. I love music, and there's a lot of downtime in some of these camping videos that I make that I like to just sit in my chair and have a drink and listen to some music. And most of it you guys can't hear because it's copyright. But, so on my new setup, I'm gonna be installing this, which is a UTV or side-by-side soundbar. I know it sounds crazy, but why not? So I'm gonna see, I've never taken this out yet, so I'm gonna get it hooked up and see how it sounds and see how it's gonna set up and all that good stuff. So let's get some of this stuff out. It seems fairly simple. And that is all that's in the box. Folks, this soundbar is from Kemimoto, and I picked this particular soundbar because I used their 12-volt rechargeable cooler. I used it all last summer, and it worked great. I was really happy with it, so I'm kind of thinking that their products might be pretty good because I did really like their cooler that I used. So I figured, let's give this one a shot. So this thing weighs about 13 pounds, not too heavy. It does have 4 subwoofers and 2 tweeters on it. And it's about 2 feet long, 24 inches long, so it's not too big. And it's got a couple of inputs here on the end where you can either Bluetooth music to this thing from your phone or iPad. You can hook up a 3.5 millimeter cord to some kind of MP3 player. So you got multiple ways to actually play music out of this thing. I think most people will probably use the Bluetooth functionality of it, but this is it. So these typically mount to a roll bar or, you know, like the UTV side rails or whatever. And so it comes with all of these little half circle clamps that are going to slide into this top track right here. To power this unit, you've got two different ways that you can actually run power to it. Nice little T-handle that it comes with, come in useful. So you can hardwire this to a 12-volt battery, but the way that I'm going to wire it on my new setup is just simply with this supplied 12-volt cigarette style cord to an adapter that's going to plug in right here on the end. And this thing is waterproof. So get that plugged in real well, and it's got a little nut that you're gonna screw on over it to keep it plugged in and sealed. So this is how I'm gonna power it. I'm gonna plug this into one of my power stations once I have everything set up on my new rig. But that literally is setup. Little 3.5 millimeter cable if you wanna hook it up to some type of like iPod. I don't even think they make those things anymore, but little remote. And here are the nuts and the mounting bolts and the hardware that you're going to install up top in this top T-channel track right here. These just little square nuts. And they're gonna slide into this track. Oh, there's one, and there's 2. To simply mount these, now that you got these T-nuts in here, you're gonna put this right here, this little clamp, bolt with a washer, and tighten her down. Same thing on this side. All right, folks, well, that is basically it in terms of setting this thing up. Obviously, it's not mounted to anything, but getting these brackets on was fairly simple. The T-nuts that go into this track took quite a bit of effort, and I think it's because there's a coating on them, and the friction was pretty high getting it into there, but just be aware that they don't just slide right in. But other than that, it was fine. Now, this is how I'm going to be powering this soundbar on my new setup, is with the power station. So I've got the 12-volt cord plugged into the side like I showed you at the beginning, and we're just gonna plug this into my bluetti and get this thing going. We're gonna press and hold the power button. There we go. We're gonna hit Bluetooth. Now we're gonna go search for Bluetooth for the speaker on my phone. Okay, and it shows up as Kemimoto, so that's pretty easy to find. So we are now connected to the speaker. Now I gotta go find some non-copyright music so you guys can hear this. So I do have a buddy that's a musician that lets me play his stuff on my channel. So here we go. Here's what it sounds like. I don't know how it's gonna sound in this garage, but here we go.
Wanna sing a song where the earth starts curving from the middle of the punch string job.
So obviously that is way louder than I'll ever use it at camp because I don't like to be the annoying person that blares music. But it gets up there. So this is 500 watts also, and again 4 subs and 2 tweeters on each side, and it gets plenty loud. That's pretty cool. I'm excited about this. I'm getting real pumped up about my new setup. Now this doesn't have any fancy LED lights that flash or do anything because I didn't want that. It's just your basic standard soundbar. And you know, you don't even have to, now that I think about it, you could use this as any type of like Bluetooth speaker because it is loud and it's waterproof and it might be good in a garage type thing, but I'm gonna be using it for my new setup. And the remote actually does have an EQ on it so you can change kind of sound profiles. Pop, clear, jazz, bass. I'm gonna keep it on normal. But you can use this little remote, I guess if you're not close to wherever this thing is. Volume works. And if you're curious, with this thing going, this is using a massive 4 watts worth of power off my bluetti. So it's a very low power draw device, which is good. So yeah, gang, I'm getting excited about my new setup. So this is just gonna be one piece of the puzzle, and we'll see you soon, folks. Take care.